Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the range. Today we got another fun gun. We're going to be taking a look at the Tisas Raider with the threaded barrel and the optics cut on it with the Gideon Valor Mini. Should be a good time. Let's get to shooting. Okay, well, let's take a look at this gun. I have had my eyes on this gun for quite some time, and was back and forth on the price because it's Tisas you can get pretty cheap, but this one tended to not get as cheap. And so back and forth and back and forth, back and forth, and then eventually from someplace I found it on sale and said, ooh, I really kind of would like to have that. Let's go kind of through some of the things that I like about it. It's got the FDE Cerakote. I was excited about that. I like the coloring on it. I like that it has the 1913 pick rail on it. I like the front forward serrations. I really did want a threaded barrel so that I could shoot suppressed with it. I also wanted an optic cut, and so this one is cut for the RMS-C, which fits Holosun 507K, 407K, EPS carry, and the Gideon Optics Valor Mini, which is what this was. Now, if you look at it, take a close look at that. That looks strikingly similar to an EPS carry, like very, very similar. It's basically got the same dimensions in it, same width in it. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's a 3 MOA dot, which is, I like that on it. And I will tell you right off the bat, I've been shooting it for a while because when I first got this gun out of the box, took it to the range, I could shoot 2 or 3 rounds and it would fail. It was having what I determined it wasn't returning to battery or many of the issues and symptoms, but from previous things, I know that that's an extractor issue. So and even a good friend of mine, Gray Shooter, check out his channel. He had a Tisas 1911 and it had extractor issues too. So, okay, I've got to tune the extractor, and it took some time for me to get that tuning right. Probably showing some footage as I'm doing this of some of these issues. Okay, we have this Tisas. We're still working on trying to make sure, I think it's the Raider. Still trying to see if we can get, I think it's the extractor, see if we can get that working properly. Usually it runs the first few rounds, but we'll see. That seems to be working. Let's try another mag. Got Chip McCormick mag. This is not the mag that came with it. See, a little bit of trouble getting it into battery. Maybe that could be feed ramp, I don't know. The extractor was so, I've probably already shown this, but extractor was so bad to get going with it. Seems to be working, getting locked back. That's all good. So I got this Gideon Optics Valor Mini on it, and had some issues with the screws. I think I got it working right. I need to get this zeroed in here. A little bit issue still there. But at any rate, long story short, I was able to get it tuned properly, and it's now running what I hope so. It's run a few mags successfully at this point. And so, but one of the interesting things that I didn't have my camera on, I was so mad, but a lot of my cameras are not waterproof, but I was out shooting in a torrential downpour. I got all out to the outdoor range. It was like a 20, 30 yard walk to get all set up, get everything set up, and then the clouds opened and I got downpoured on. So I was shooting this gun in an absolutely torrential downpour. The Valor Mini did fantastic. No fogging on the inside of it. No loss of battery. Nothing. Now, there will be others that test this in water and freeze it and do all that crap. I'm not doing any of those things. But how did the Tisas do in the rainstorm? Well, it didn't do as good. I've had to do a little bit of cleaning. I had to take the gun basically apart because I started to see red orange stuff coming out from the bottom of my hammer, or of my grip safety. So inside, what I realized was that the hammer strut is kind of made from some kind of cheap pot metal, and it was starting to rust. Just, you know, I got it back, wiped it all down, brought it inside the air conditioning, made sure it all dried out, wiped it down, and then like a week later, I noticed there was rust oozing from the bottom, and so that cheap pot metal hammer strut was starting to rust. So these are not super waterproof. Be aware of that type of issue. But other than that, this gun seems to be great. We're going to put it through its paces today. We're going to shoot short, we're going to shoot long, we're going to try and shoot fast, you know me, which means it's not super fast. And yeah, we'll see how much fun we can have with this Tisas Raider in 45 ACP single stack. Should be a good time. Let's get shooting. All right, well, this Tisas came with 2 magazines like that. That came with 2. We got 2 kind of black magazines. Also have a Chip McCormick magazine out. Came with, again, these are both 8-rounders, so they're slightly extended, all of them. First target is downrange at 20 yards. Should be able to see that when I start shooting. And we're just going to see how this thing performs with a little bit of accuracy testing. All right. Okay, we're at 5 yards. We'll see how we do with accuracy. Okay, well, that seems to work well. That's kind of what you would expect at 5 yards. Okay, we're back at 10 yards. See how we do, continuing to move back. Well, that's not a great group. Let's take a look at that. Not sure if this thing is shooting high or what, but maybe we can try some zeroing with it. But if we double that range, that more than doubled the group. So not good. Definitely could be me. You know, no doubt about that. I'm gonna be the first to it, but it feels atypical. Okay, now we doubled our range again. We're out at 20 yards. We'll see what it does. I've adjusted the optic just a little bit, and we'll see what we can do at 20 yards. Okay, let's go down and take a look. 20 yards, not great, but it's getting hits. Here we are at 20 yards. You know, it's actually pretty similar to the 10-yard one in terms of overall length. When I scoot over to the other target, I had this far for top to bottom, so not bad. There's some close ones in there. That probably is within my range and capability, so not bad. Well, so that means we need to double it again. Let's get back. I can get out to about 43 yards on this range here, so might as well do it. Okay, well, we are a little over 40 yards. We'll do our best to get some hits on some steel down there. Really try to see what this thing can do in terms of accuracy. Okay, all but one, which is pretty good for me. That's great. I'm happy about that. You can see we used all the steel to get those hits. So not a nice little tight group as some might make you think. But again, 2/3 size IPSC target. So yeah. Okay, and for one of the final tests that I want to do, I want to just kind of move fast and try to, you know, get through the ammo fast. So I'm going to start close with some paper targets. And then I'm going to move back and hit some of my steel targets. Hopefully this camera will track me, and if not, hopefully we have it going on here. Let's do that check. No, I had it. Now I have it. Okay, we're gonna start up on the paper targets and we'll get going. I don't have 3 full mags, but I have as much ammo as I have left, so here we go. The pocket draw is not very good. Not hitting the dueling tree. Nope, random ammo. I gotta finish that dueling tree. Oh, ran into a barrier behind me as I'm walking past. No, finish that. Okay, well, yeah, that wasn't a practice in fast shooting. That was a practice in slow shooting. Okay, one last test is I want to run some hollow point ammunition through it. I've got 1 magazine, so let's see if it runs some AAC 230 grain jacketed hollow points. Seem to run it just fine. That's a good deal. Yeah, that's a good deal. All right, initial thoughts on the Tisas Raider 1911. The threaded barrel and the optics cut on it, it's fine. I mean, it's kind of doing the stuff that I wanted. I wanted a red dot. I wanted a threaded barrel. We don't have the suppressor on for testing. That'll happen in a future video. And then we're going to be shooting a lot more of this on the channel. So look forward to future reviews and how this is going with it. I probably will replace that hammer strut that was leaking and oozing iron with it as it was rusting. But other than that, it seems fine. It's not an overly accurate handgun. Okay, had to just do a quick interruption. I don't think we can count and say that this gun is not accurate. After shooting this video, everything kind of fell apart on it in terms of the optic. And so actually I had a little piece of the optic, and I think it was the optical like projector, the actual dot that projects, started free floating and shaking around inside the optic itself. So that's no bueno. Like like I have no doubt, I had to re-zero this optic multiple times while I was at the range and at other range sessions. I have no doubt that it was starting to shake loose. Something at the range, return trip home, it came completely loose and was just free rattling around and no longer working. Also, I was out in a torrential downpour and I thought the optic survived it fine, but right before shooting this video, the optic died. I replaced the battery. When I looked at the battery, there was actually some corrosion on the battery. And so I think that, or maybe it was after this video, there was some corrosion on the battery. So I think water did get into it. And so I don't think the battery tray is sealed, or at least mine wasn't sealed. I've heard from Gideon. I sent it in about a month ago. I don't have a new optic replacement back yet. I'm hopeful that it will come back. They sent a message last week that they are working on it, that they just don't have any in stock and they will be replacing it, which I am grateful for. But I've got 2 Gideon optics and 1 bit the dust, almost immediately upon receipt. I had one issue with a Holosun in the past, but that was after a couple of years, and then they replaced it really, really fast. So I don't know. I'm jury's still out for me with Gideon optics. So we'll see if that's something that we like to use moving forward. I know that others have had Chris from the 740. In fact, I used his code to purchase this. I know others have had great success with Gideon, so we'll see what happens with this. And I'll certainly put it to the test in the future and see if we can get any better accuracy with this gun. But the groups were going in and out, and I thought it was me, but I'm pretty sure it was that optic thing starting to come loose on it. So, all right, back to our regular program. I also think that I've had some reliability issues, even after I thought I got it all resolved with the extractor on it. So I think that there are some remaining issues. It does seem to be perhaps related more to those Tisas mags, maybe than the extractor, or maybe I don't have the extractor tuned right. But again, that should come from the factory tuned right. Another thing is this thing is very hard to rack. I think it could go with a less difficult recoil spring, or less stronger recoil spring, so a lightened recoil spring. I'll probably look at that in the future. But for right now, I probably want to shoot some plus P out of it too, so I may leave the heavier recoil spring in it. All right, well, let me know what you guys think about the Tisas Raider. Is Tisas a good value, or is it just a pain in the ass and you're going to have to do a whole bunch of work with it and it's a project? And for that kind of money, should you be, you know, I can understand it if you're getting it for 200 or 300 shekels, but at the price that this thing is going for, it's not 200 or 300 shekels. It's certainly not the price of a quality 1911, but are you willing to put the work into it? Let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comments below. Everyone has a great week, and let's get shooting.
From pistols to rifles, we'll take on the best.
Because I was going to get it, so I'm like, well, it costs so much, dang much, and takes so much time, and you have to do shipping, and potentially things can get lost and destroyed in a FedEx trailer fire. Oh wait, I'm gonna so oddly specific trigger ball, right?
Make it fun.